Hi everyone, this is going to be a tour video of my first car, my 2015 Kia Optima EX. So, this car has fog lights on it, and as I get close to it, the mirrors open up, because this car has power mirrors. Power folding mirrors. So this is the back of it. I've had this car for about a week now. I'm filming this on May 17th. And we got it on May 10th. And as I move further away from it, the mirrors close up. So there's chrome door handles, and there is a button on this side as well as on the passenger side to unlock it. And this car, my car, so when we got this car used at a dealership, it came with two key fobs. And this is the key fob. Both the key fobs look the same. This is what the key fob looks like. So you can see lock, unlock. That's for the trunk, you gotta hold it down, then panic button, and then there's also like a little red button right near the lock button as well. And on this side it just says Kia. And I believe there's a key in here as well, like an emergency key I can put in there. So, if you need to. So, to unlock it, you either press the unlock button or you press the button right there. So if you press the button once, it unlocks just the driver's door, but if you press it twice, it unlocks the rest of the doors. Sometimes you have to do it within like 4 seconds, but I didn't do it fast enough, so yeah, if you press it once, it will unlock it. Either if you press the button or the key on the key fob, it will just unlock the driver's door. But if you press it twice within 4 seconds, it will unlock the rest of the doors, and I believe the trunk as well. So, we're gonna get in here. We're gonna start up. Of course, put on the brake, and then you just push this button over here to start it. So this car does have power driver and passenger seats. So of course you can get down from here. So over here is all of your power controls for the seat. So you can raise it up like that and lower it. You can even do the seat back too. So you can move it back, move it forward. And I believe this is for the lumbar adjustment as well. This right here. So, and then if we go over to the other side of the car, car's gonna beep at me since I have the key in my pocket. Go to this side of the car, again, another power leather seat. Seats are beige and they're leather, like I mentioned before. Power, move it front and back, forward and back, like that. And then this is also for the seat back as well, so you can move it back like that, and move it forward. And when you close the front passenger door, it'll also beep if the key is in your pocket and you get out. So, we're going to go back in the car. I'm going to put the key in the car as well to get it to stop beeping. So, this car also has memory seats as well. As you can see there on the door. chrome door handles. That is the door lock right here. Of course, you know, the lock to control the locks. So the front 2 windows are auto. So of course you put it down like that. You have to like hit it a certain way to get it to be auto, but these front 2 windows are auto though. Automatic, you just gotta hit it a certain way. Which I don't always hit it a certain way, but yeah, so I hit that one right. So yeah, this one's auto, and the other one's also auto too. And the back ones are manual. And these front ones are also manual, you just have to hit it a certain way to get it to be automatic, up or down. Of course, this is so the rear windows don't move. This is for your mirrors, you know, mirror adjustment right there. And then you can do it for the other side as well. And this button right here folds in the power mirrors. Like so. It does it on both sides, which is really nice. So if you need to park in a tight spot, you can do that. And then of course, you press on the button again, and they fold out. So this car, for the front seat, has heated and cooled front seats. So L here, that's for my driver's seat. So that is, you know, the heated seat. Turn it down. Same thing with the cooled seat. It's blue. And then that's for the passenger, the front passenger. So these are gauges here, illuminated gauges. Of course, you can press this button right here, toggle through a bunch of stuff here, like user settings and some other things. So you have your cruise control right here. This is the eco button. I have it set on that right now. It's supposed to make it a little bit more make the car a little bit more efficient. And then if I unpress that, then it just turns off. So right here is all your media buttons, phone options, volume, voice commands, all that good stuff right here. The steering wheel is leather wrapped. It does have some wear on it, but this car has 131,000 miles, 131 through 57 when I'm filming this video. So that's what the steering wheel looks like. And over here, of course, you have, you know, 2 climate control vents over here around the radio, another one over here, and you have one over there. On the door, you have this nice wood accent here, nice leather. Down there is where, so right here is your trunk release, right there, and then right there is where your, where you pop your gas cap if you need to fill up your car, and you press that to be able to open the gas cap, the gas tank, you know, cover. So yeah, that's where your fuel fill release is right there. And then that is your trunk release. Some more storage down there. That's an infinity speaker right there. That is your gauge illumination. So turn it up like that. Turn it down. Heated steering wheel, which is really nice. Lights up orange, and then it says the heated steering wheel's on. Of course, you can press it again. It says heated steering wheel off. That'll probably be really nice during the winter. Traction control off, and just a dead switch right there. Down there is where your fuse panel is, and then down here is, if my phone wants to focus, and down there is where your hood release is, as well as your emergency brake push on and off right there. which you have to put your foot on the brake pedal, and then you gotta push that to release the parking brake, and then of course you have to put your foot in the brake and then, you know, push it again to have the parking brake on. So right there is your dead pedal, nice left foot rest there. Of course you have, you know, your brake and your gas pedal right there. Just all normal stuff that you expect in a car. And then right here is our infotainment system. So we do have a CD player right there. And then that says Infinity, which is for the really nice Infinity sound system in this car. These Infinity speakers. So we have a speaker there, speaker there. I think there might be 3 more speakers up there. I think that's a speaker, I think that might be a speaker, and I think that's a speaker. There's 2 speakers in the back. And then there's also one on the trunk deck as well. So if I turn on the radio here.
Prime through May 27th. Stock up on all your favorite flavors.
Of course you have standard AM, FM radio in this car. You know, press that, turn it to AM. That's for Sirius XM radio. Media. With this car, you can connect your phone to this car, you just have to have a USB port for that. E-services and basically like your settings, parking minder, roadside assistance, my car zone, vehicle diagnostics, e-services guide, whole bunch of things. This system's also called the Kia UVO touchscreen as well. It's a smaller touchscreen, so I believe some of these did get bigger touchscreens on like the really higher end trims. But I mean, this EX model is still very well equipped. Phone setup right there. So connections, settings, like a whole bunch of things. Setup. The screen is pretty small, but there's still a good amount of things in this screen. There's no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, at least from my knowledge. This is 2015. This is the last year of the Optima before they redesigned it in 2016, so there's still, but you still can connect your phone to the car via like an aux or USB port. You know, of course you can adjust the display, automatic, daylight, nighttime. You can turn the display completely off if you want. And then you just press a button to get back. There's the voice commands there, basically like,
please say a command after the beep.
and that's basically like testing like how loud the voice commands are. So yeah, as part of the voice commands, of course that's your volume, adjust that on the steering wheel. You can completely mute it from the steering wheel. And of course, if you press the mode button, you can adjust all the different radio modes. In this button right here, you can go through the different radio stations and probably different tracks on your phone and whatnot. Of course, your phone button's right here. And this is also for your voice commands.
Please say a command after the beep.
Cancel. Cancel. And it canceled. So now we're going to take a look at the engine here. So I can open the car up here. So of course it's the engine right there. It's a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine. And the transmission is a 6-speed automatic. This engine bay is very clean. Honestly, it looks like it's in... This engine bay honestly looks like it's brand new car. I mean, of course you do have a little bit of rust here and there, but this vehicle mainly spent its life in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, from what I saw in the Carfax. This engine bay is very clean though. see there's all the headlights coming on, because this vehicle does have automatic headlights, and of course has fog lights as well. We'll give it a little bit of a rev. We'll rev the engine here. So yeah, automatic headlights, fog lights. Turn those on. We'll turn the headlights on. We'll turn on the hazards. I'm gonna rev the engine here a little bit. Down. It's a good looking car though. I like how it looks. There's also turn signal repeaters on the mirrors as well. And this is the back of the car. So we do have a taillight out on the back. Hopefully we can get that fixed at some point. Of course, that is where the gas goes in, the fuel filler right there. I'm going to turn signal repeater right over there. Of course, the steering wheel as well. You can, pull this lever. Of course, you can adjust it. I believe this wheel telescopes as well, from what I looked up. I don't really, because I don't want to break my wheel, but I've read it does telescope as well. It's just I'm just only able to do the tilt right now, but it does telescope as well. So, and then once you're done adjusting, pull that lever back up. So now we're going to go to the back of the car. Rear seat is very roomy. Of course, you have the panoramic sunroof back here. Have some climate control vents back here, which is very nice. Of course, pockets back here, map pockets, both sides. You have lights back here as well. Of course, grab handles. This one has a little clothes hook on it. Of course, you have your windows back here, like so. Manual, little quarter window there. You do have heated seats back here as well for the two outboard seats in the back with two positions. So 2, 1, and of course you have it over here as well. 2, 1, and of course a window over here too. You do also have an armrest back here as well, 2 cup holders. And then there's that speaker up there that I was talking about before. This car is again, very good sound system. There's also good room back here as well. Headroom's a little bit tight in this car. This car does have a little bit of like a lower roof line, and I am a taller person. So I've read especially with the panoramic sunroof, it can decrease headroom a little bit. So I guess I'm kind of hitting my head a little bit, but it's not too bad. But yes, this car definitely is a little bit of a lower stance. I mean, it sits up higher than our Hyundai Elantras do, because we have a 2021 and a 2023 Elantras. Hyundai Elantras, and those cars sit very low. This car's a little bit higher than that, but it still does sit pretty low though. So, and definitely, you know, this car doesn't have the best headroom, but it's alright for me. But definitely though, headroom is a little bit decreased in this car though. So if you're a taller person, headroom's not the best in this Kia Optima, but it is a lower slung sedan, so I guess that's to be expected. In terms of footroom though, there's good footroom, both front and back. Of course, you can put small item storage there. Of course, another speaker. So, I believe back here, so of course you have the backup camera, your 2 license plate lights, but how you open the trunk, you can either open it from inside, from that trunk release we were talking about before. You can open it from the fob, like I showed you a little bit earlier in the video, or I believe you can press this black button right here that has a little bit of an arrow on it. And that's one way you can open the trunk. Press that black button with an arrow and it will open it up, as well as, you know, using the key fob and holding the key fob button down or opening up from the front. So back here, of course, you have good room back here. The opening is a little small, so it might hinder getting in larger items, but I think there's still good room back here though. Of course, you can pull on these to put down the trunk. There's good room back here though. Fuel filler, door handle, manual release. And of course, to put the trunk down, you just put it down. So this car does vibrate a little bit. You can especially see that around the mufflers. It's a little vibratey. You can feel it a little bit on the inside, but it's really not too bad. I mean, this car is about 10 years old now, so. You can also see, I guess there was like a sticker or something right over here. You probably can't see it that well in video, but I just noticed I was opening up this door, kind of saw like a oval over here. And it also said Motion Kia underneath where it says Optima as well, which is a Kia dealership in my area. So, of course, back here, you know, this rear seat, everything carries over from before that I talked about. And then, of course, you got the button to unlock the car from over here. Of course, you know, glove box, like mentioned before. You have owner's manual, all that good stuff. Of course, the radio, all the climate controls, shifter, and also where the USB ports as well. It lights up red under here, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, all the lighting when the headlights are on, it all lights up red. So that's pretty cool. There you go. See a little bit of chrome accenting that goes up here. We have that little flare right there. I think that looks pretty good and it just adds something to the car. But yeah, I mean, this is like a really good looking car though. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It does sacrifice the visibility a little bit. The visibility is not the best out of this car. Like, the trunk deck is pretty high. And of course you do have a pretty thick pillar right back here. Visibility to the front's alright, but these pillars up here can be pretty thick as well. But again, of course, this car does have a backup camera, which is 3 years before on the mandatory requirement in 2018, because again, this car is a 2015. And of course this car has stability control, anti-lock brakes, because it is a 2015 and all that. Was made standard by law in 2012 in the US. And car does side current airbags, of course airbags, because you know that's been standard for years. A little bit of water also leaks from the car sometimes because you know I have it parked on a hill. But yeah, that is the tour of my 2015 Kia Optima EX. I'm hoping that all of you enjoyed it, and I'll see all of you next time. I'm going to end this video by turning the car off. Hoping that all of you enjoyed this video, and I'll see all of you next time. Bye everyone.